I am Sonia, and I am your over 50 makeup teacher. I have been a cosmetologist since I've been 19 years old. I love all things beauty. I love skin. I love hair. And I've actually been a homeschool mama since my 30-year-old now was 6 years old. So I know a little bit about education, but I really know a lot about the struggles that we run into as mature women with our skin and our makeup application. So that's why I'm here with you today with this live. I'm going to give you some of my best makeup tips for you to help you with your makeup, maybe change things up a little bit, because if you're like me, you've been doing your makeup since you've been 1982. I was like doing the math and I'm like, oh my gosh, for real, 1982. Things have changed. I don't have the same skin anymore. And I really, really struggled in my late 40s. I really struggled. And I quit wearing makeup. I did a little bit of mascara. I did a black eyeliner, tried to fill in my brows, and pretty much it. Chapstick on my lips. And I didn't like it. And I really was on the look for something new, and I found it. And then along with that is just all these tips, all these things I keep learning about my skin, placement, all the things, and being able to wear makeup and still feel beautiful and still feel like I can still wear makeup and not accent all the things that are bothering me. So hi, if you're here, I would love if you would say hi, maybe even where you're from, maybe how old you are, whatever you want to give me. So one of the very first things I'm going to give you is really so makeup related, but we think it isn't, is skincare. I did not dabble. I'm going to put on my cream here. I had not done this part until right before now. So I want to finish my skincare routine. I did not dabble in skincare aside from Noxzema we used to use back in the day, and Seabreeze and all of that. And I even use like hand lotion on my face, coconut oil. I'm not kidding. And you know what? We just didn't know. Skincare was not really a thing for us. So I just really started dabbling in it in my 40s and made my skin worse because I messed up my skin barrier. So I have found a skincare for me that is helping my menopausal broken skin barrier. Look that up if you don't know what that is. Hi, oh my gosh, how are you guys? Oh, Alabama, North Carolina. I love North Carolina. Never been to Alabama. California, hi. Oh my gosh, Noxzema, yeah. Yes. So I damaged my skin barrier. What that happened is I got sensitive. I got really dry, red patches, like even my eyes were bothered, and I didn't know what I was doing. So anyway, I found a skincare line that is simple. You don't have to think about what you're doing this night and that night and all the things. It has patented ingredients. They have over 3,000 ingredients. They will not stick into their skincare, but because of the EU standards, they follow. So I just got a phone call. Can you still hear me? Let me know if you can still hear me. I put my phone on Do Not Disturb, but got a phone call. Okay, so Skincare Matters. If you are interested, just want to look at, or you want to take my skincare quiz, it is K Beauty, the letter K, then Beauty. You can do that. This is amazing stuff. They've sold over 50 million of just this alone, which is the dermatology cream. So hi, oh my gosh. Hello, Michigan. I'm in Ohio, Texas. This is so fun. Yes. All right. So if you guys can hear me, let me know if you guys can hear me. Yes. Okay. All right. So skincare matters. That is my first tip. Skincare matters more than makeup. I would focus on that first. So the other thing that we're going to go into is I'm using a One Compact makeup. This kind of clashes with my shirt, but we're just going to ignore that. And this is a cream-based foundation system. This was a game changer for me when I was looking for something different. I went to all the stores. I ordered stuff online. I was really super frustrated and landed on, like I said, almost nothing on my face. And this is a cream-based foundation system. Hi, South Carolina. I love South Carolina too. We have friends that live there. We have had the most fun in North and South Carolina. So much fun. What was I saying? Oh, you can comment. If you want to comment, match me. You can get all the things that I'm talking about. Skincare, my makeup, eye color corrector, all of that. It's not anything spammy and weird. It just gives you, I know it's a lot of information. It'll give it to you. I actually want to pull out my color corrector here and put it. So this compact is magnetic. I want to put this in my compact because I forgot. Okay. This is, I don't have my eyeshadows in here. You can get all different size compacts. This was a game changer for me, but here's my first tip for makeup. Maine. Oh my gosh. We tried to come to Maine, Debbie. Alabama. We tried to come to Maine and we never made it. We were looking for warmer weather and it just didn't work out at the time period. So the first thing is when you're applying foundation, okay? First of all, we've always taken foundation and stuck it all over our entire faces, and I'm going to challenge you on that you don't need to stick it all over your entire face for the most part. You can, but we don't have to. But you need to use a darker shade than what you think. You can't use a light shade. A shade that is too light for your skin is going to create texture and make you look cracky and dry. And so you may need to go darker than what you think. And again, if you comment match me, I can match you to your foundation shades. It's free. It's nothing weird. I don't keep messaging you saying, hey, you want to there's nothing strange about it. It is just a tool for you to be able to not have to match yourself. Okay. And I stand behind my color matches. I really do. So don't use too dark, or don't use that too, but don't use too light. It just needs to flow and it needs to match. Now I want you to look at my face. And remember we talked about the sensitivity on my face. I have a little bit of pink right here. Okay. And I have a little bit of that right there. So in that, I am going to use a darker shade on that. Your natural instinct is if I have something dark like melasma or something like that, I need to stick light on it. Dark under eyes, I need to stick light on it. You need to take that and push it aside. And that is not what you're going to do anymore. It doesn't conceal anything. It either makes it look gray or crackly, and it doesn't give you the coverage you need. So what we're going to do is we're going to take a brush, and then I'm going to take a foundation shade that is a little bit darker than what you think, right? Like you would look at that on the website and you'd be like, Sonny, you cannot, I cannot. Well, I'm going to tell you right now, I'm going to, and I'm going to show you what it's going to do. So I'm going to put very little on, and I'm going to take it and I'm going to put it like so. Did you see that? Pink just completely disappear. Okay. That's what we want. Okay. With the least amount of makeup possible, you want to be able to put it on and have any of those things that are bothering you go away. And I'm using very, very little. You can tell. This is the color Mango. It's actually the original color that I got matched to for my pink and red areas. And I still go back to it. Sonia does not bug you. Thank you to my loyal people. I love you. Okay, so that is, and then I am going to use a full face today, but it's going to be very minimal. So I use that Mango shade on my redness, and then I actually have two main shades, and that's okay. You don't have to. You can take this shade and put it here like so. And I'm not spammy, right? I hate that. It's very gross. No one likes it. And I put it in those areas. I am going to take the second shade, which is Hazel, and then I'm going to place it everywhere else. So I'm going to have very, very little makeup on. So I'm going to take the same brush and see. And like right there, that's almost too much, okay? But we'll just dab it on. I'll dab a little bit on and then we'll do this. And you'll see that I'm doing tapping. So that's a really great tool for us as mature ladies. Our skin's kind of like a balloon. It's letting out the air. The collagen is going away. And we have some sagging and wrinkling of the skin. And when we do this motion, sometimes it skips, right? We do that and it'll skip. So pressing in can be one of the best things that you do for your skin. My forehead's still together. So I can do that there on my forehead. But the rest of my face, I do a lot of tapping. So that's it on that. Like my foundation is on. Pink's gone. The things that bother me are gone. So then next, I'm going to come in with a little bit of contour. I don't always contour, but what the heck? Let's contour. And I'm going to take this shade that you're going to think, oh, That looks dark. So contour is not bronzer. I will bronze here in just a minute, but contour is there to carve out your bone structure and give you lift and dimension. So I'm going to take this really weird flat brush and I'm going to put a little bit of contour on there, and I'm just going to put it a little bit here on underneath my cheekbone, but I'm going to guess high, because if you're like me and you're like, I don't know, I don't want to get too low and make me look like I'm actually sagging. I'm going to go to about the top of my ear and I'm going to feel underneath my cheekbone. And then I'm going to stop at the corner of my eye, because that's for mature ladies. That's where we want to stop. So I'm going to go here and just press it in. You can use other brushes for this too. If this intimidates you, just use a different brush. And I'm going to do a tapping motion, and then we're just going to create a little bit of lift. See how it's just kind of carving it out? That's what we're doing. I'm not going to bring it too far forward because I have a shadow here from my family jowls that I have. Someone said that on here the other day. They're like, the family jowls. I'm like, oh my gosh. Yes, they are the family jowls. All my aunts have them. They've been handed down. We can do our forehead up here along the hairline. This is where we put contour. And then we can also put it on the jawline. Hi, my friend. We can also do the nose if you want. The nose is to slim it, okay? So what we want to do is go like that, and that's where you want to put the darkness. If you put it over too far, it'll actually make it look whiter. Not what we're going for. So let's just put a little bit here on there as close as possible, and I'm going to put a little bit on the end. We don't want a brown nose. No one likes a brown noser, but you can just put a little bit. You can use your fingers if that's easier for placement, like so, okay? And then I put a little bit on the end because my nose is longer and I want to shorten it. So that's it. And that's contouring. And then we're going to bronze. Bronzer, I feel like every mature woman should do. Every mature woman. And even put it on before your foundation. And that will help you to wear less foundation. It'll help blend in your redness and such. But I kind of mixed it up a little bit today. So we're going to do bronzer. And I'm going to take my compact and I'm going to flip back to my bronzer. I'm going to use a fluffy brush, and I'm going to use the fluffy end of this. She got the family jowls too. Isn't that wonderful? So we're going to take a little bit of bronzer, and then I'm just going to add a little bit of dimension, like so. Yesterday I got too much bronzer on, and now today I'm not getting enough. Okay, so add a little bit of dimension here on your forehead. This is just where the sun kisses you, so we can gently put it on the cheeks, like so. You can tap maybe if you want, but I like to do a little bit of sweeping. And then I have this white thing here going on, and I always like adding a little bit of bronzer right there. And that just helps fill that in, helps everything to flow like we want it to flow. Okay, so bronzer is on. Some of us, we can stop here. That would be great, wouldn't it? Just give yourself a sun-kissed look and be done. But I'm going to keep moving, and we are going to do blush. And so many, hi, San Jose, California. Yay, she loves learning new ways. You know what? When we are at this age, I love that you love to learn, because I have noticed that you start getting up into these 50s, 60s, 70s, and 80 years, and we get stuck in our ways, and we don't like change. But you know what? Mindset is so much of what we do. And we need to be willing to change, because our faces are changing. So blush, for years and years, you know, when I would apply my blush, I would smile and I would put it on the apple of my cheek, but the apple has fallen from the tree, and it probably most likely is not going to do you any good. So what I suggest you do, I'm going to take kind of a coral color today. It's called Madrid. It's a cream. I love cream blush, and I'm actually going to apply it here on the high points of my face first. The high points of my cheeks, I'm sorry. The high points of my face would be my forehead. I'm going to put on the high points of my cheeks. It's kind of warming up right now. And I'm going to take this brush, a fluffy brush, and I'm just going to tap it in on the high points and start there. And if you like it on the apples of your cheeks, because you're like, I really do have apples to my cheeks, then you can bring it forward. And it can be just a preference thing. You're not wrong if you put it on the apples of your cheeks. It's just that don't smile and do that. Keep your face very normal. And then if you want to bring it to the apples, then just dabble. I do an upside down triangle. So like this, I take a little bit and then I go 1, 2, 3. And that helps me to keep it where I want it. Just don't get it too low. If you get it too low, it's going to make your face drag down. So that is my second tip. Hang on. A little bit of contour on my nose right there. Okay, so then pores. For pores, oh no, not pores. Back up. Well, pores was the too light of color. If you put too light a foundation shade or a light concealer, you're going to draw to your pores. But what I was going to talk to you about is I've already done my brows. And I want to tell you, when you do your brows, and so many of us, the hair has fallen out of our brows. I don't know why it happens, but it certainly does. Mine are thin. I had them microbladed several years ago. They need redone. But when you fill in your brows, it's hard for us because we didn't grow up filling in our brows. Start where you have very little hair. That's what I suggest you do. First, I'll underline them like this, okay? And use something that is not overly soft, that you don't get them filled in. This is a pen, NYX Lift and Snatch pen. And then just start, I already did it. Flick in where you don't really have hair, so we don't get overfilled brows in, okay? So we underlined it. We're gonna flick where we have no hair. If you have no hair, then you're gonna have to absolutely draw it on. And then accent your arch a little bit here on the top and the bottom, and then extend out the tail. Don't ever make the tail go down. If you make the tail go down, it's gonna draw your eye down, and we don't want that. So that is another tip. So we've done, don't do too light a foundation. You may need to go darker. We've done the blush, and we did the brows. I have it written down here so I wouldn't forget. Brightening. When we brighten, some of you may call it highlight. When we brighten, oh, wait. Whoop. Hi, California. Well, I got a few of you from California. I wonder if you guys live each other. We're going to back up. I actually want to do my under eyes. So we're going to do under eye concealer. You're going to want a small brush. That's the first thing you're going to do. And instead of adding a concealer, a light concealer to cover the darkness, what do you get? If anyone's on here and you've been putting light concealer on your under eye darkness, correct me if I'm wrong, does it just turn gray? And then it shows your lines, and if you have lines under your eyes. So what I suggest that you do is color correct your under eyes, okay? I use one of our lip and cheek. Yes, it's a blush color, and it's called Frenchie. A peach color will cancel out the blue shades in your eyes, okay? Dark right here, that muddy brown gray looking stuff is typically a base of blue. So are your sunspots, and your melasma oftentimes are blue. And a peachy orangey shade will take care of it. Wrinkles! Yes. So I like to take a brush, and you could take either a fine end or a more dense, fluffy, or a dense end that's a little bit bigger. And then you only want to take it to the under eye discoloration. So you may need a brush, like this or whatever. I don't want you to grab a brush like that unless your entire under eye is dark. Then maybe you can, and you can do that. But really, you're doing a little bit more fine work. So get smaller brush like that. Okay, I'm going to take it into Frenchie like that. Okay, that's probably too much, but let's do this. Hello. Hello, friend. All right, and then I'm going to take it here on the blue. I don't have very dark under eyes, but I still do this because I do have blue, and I'm going to cancel it out right now. Okay, I'm going to take that peachy shade, and I only put it on my under eye darkness. And then I'm going to take it here on the blue and right there. And I'm going to stay out of the white. I have very white under eyes. I don't know why. I don't even wear sunglasses that much. I have very white under eyes, so we're going to take care of that too. When you have under eye darkness like this white light area, any area that's white around it, is going to actually make the darkness look darker. So that's why I did my face first, and I didn't go right into my under eyes. It really truly will make a difference. Do your face first and then go into your under eyes, because it will start to diminish the under eye as you do your face. So yes, Frenchie, she is so right. So Frenchie canceled out my blue, and then I'm actually going to take a little bit of bronzer. Suede lip liner is fantastic for this, but it's something they're discontinuing with Saint. So you can use that, or you can use Bella bronzer, or you can use just a darker concealer shade that's the color of your face and darken up the pockets of white. That's all I'm doing. I'm going to take a little bit of Bella and a little bit of my main shade. I'm going to make sure I don't have too much on my brush, and I'm just going to deepen this white under my eyes. Okay, and as I darken that, my under eye darkness would diminish. We don't want the under eyes to look orange or anything strange or darker than the rest of our face, but we do want it to deepen up a little bit. Now see how the difference is? So if I would have really a lot of darkness there, it would really help. So again, I used my main shade foundation and a little bit of bronzer. And I'm using very little. You have to use very little makeup. So when you do your right technique, you can use less makeup and still feel beautiful, truly. I mean, I have people that are like, I didn't wear makeup because that's where I was at. I didn't wear makeup for 15 years. And now they wanted to wear makeup. You don't have to, but they wanted to. And they're like, oh my gosh, this is amazing. I can wear makeup again. Okay, so the under eyes, we've concealed them with a color corrector, and then we put some darkness around. Yes, thank you, Mary. Okay, and then now we are going to brightening. Some of you guys may call it highlight, like we talked about earlier when I jumped ahead of myself. I'm gonna get the right brush here. We're not ever, repeat after me. I will never put a light concealer on my under eyes again. Some of you may be able to stick a little bit in the inner corner. So this is my brightening shade right here. It's probably, I don't know, it's probably 5-6 shades lighter than my main shade. If you have a lot of wrinkles and a lot of texture in your face, you may not be able to go quite as light, and that's okay. You're not missing anything by that. It just means you go a little bit darker to not bring out any texture. Yes, Mary. Yes, Mary was she didn't wear makeup for years, and now she's wearing makeup and she's loving it. And it lasts forever. I mean, truly, this stuff lasts over 6 months. It's really obnoxious. Okay, on my eyes today, I just did my eye primer, Urban Decay eyeshadow primer potion, the color Eden. That's my favorite. And then I did Basic, which is my go-to, and then Cupcake. And then I put a little bit of cocoa right out there. So I can show you those shades if you guys, it's such a neutral colors. So there's that. It's kind of a neutral ashy color. And then I use just a tiny bit of cocoa. It's a little bit warmer, but it's one of my very favorites. And then Cupcake is a white. It's a white that I used below here and then a little bit on the inner corner. I don't know where I put it. It's somewhere. I used it. Anyway, it's a white color, and that's what I used today. So, okay, so we're going to brighten. Some of you, like I said, you can use a little bit of white right here. Like you've put your concealer on, and you're like, you can dab a little bit of the light color in there. I cannot. I have chicken skin on the inner corner of my eye. That chicken skin just looks like chicken skin exaggerated with a light color. So I'll show you what I do with my light. I use a firm brush, and you can use a smaller brush than this. I suggest if you're older not to use too big of a brush. I mean, you can tap. You could probably use one this size. Okay, I'm going to go from the corner of my eye to the tail of my brow right there, and I'm going to create some lift. If you have a deep crow's feet and you can't do that, that's okay. Just make sure you clean up your eyeshadow with a normal shade, like your regular shade. And from my corner of my eye, see how that skin moves? You just have to not press. Let's not press so hard we're ripping our skin apart here. So we have that lift. I like to take it a little bit above my brow, like so. Then I do tap a little bit here because this is falling in and I'm staying out from my under eye. This color's Palace. I really like, I've been playing with this one. It's been kind of fun. Palace, I use White Peach and I use Aura. Those are my go-tos. Okay, so I'm going to use a little bit here. And then I'm going to carve my cheek out a little bit with this. I have very little on the brush. See, it's not all gunked up. This is my thing. I tap very little on. That's why they last me so long. My brightener will last me over a year. They probably expire before I use them up, to be honest with you. And then I'm going to do this and give this a little bit of lift. That's just what I do. But then here's where you're going to do reverse contouring. So I don't have much of a cheekbone because of the loss. I never really did, but I have a loss of collagen, obviously. So we're just going to take a little bit of light right here and a little bit of light right there. And that's just going to help carve out that cheekbone. And then we're just going to blend it in. You can take your finger. With the creams, you're not going to mess anything up ever in your whole life. Ever. I've used powder contour and it was awful because I got the placement wrong and I couldn't get it off without washing the face. So the creams are so forgiving. If you, let's say I got it too low right here, I just would go like this and it would clean right up. Okay, it's very forgiving. You're not going to make a mistake, which is what I love, because when you're doing something new, we're intimidated. Just wait, skin moving and I know. Oh, I know. Okay, I'm going to take a little bit of brightener down the center of my nose. So I don't do a very good line, very good straight line, but we'll be okay. Okay. It's a little wide. So this is what we're going to do. We're going to tap it like so. I'll tell you what I do in real life, honestly. I put my brightener on and then I contour, because if I get too much brightener and I make it too wide, then I know that I need to add a little bit of darkness. Okay. So I got that a little wide. So what I'm going to do, because creams are so forgiving, I'm going to put a little bit of contour on my finger. I'm going to tap it like so. And now I'm just going to go like that. I'm barely touching my skin. Okay. And I'm just going to close that back in just a little bit. Not a lot. You don't want a lot because it'll sit in your pores. And then you're going to be like, why do I have dark in my pores? You're not going to like it. It's not going to do you any good. Minimal is always best. And then I just check things out. And I'm like, is this the way I want my makeup? And then, I might soften the edges here. Oh, I forgot to blend this in. I might soften the edges around my blush. I'm going to check my brightener. Is my brightener all okay? My hair must be falling out. That's about the 6th hair I've had to pull off. And then I just check and make sure everything is where it needs to be. Yes, Mary is going to stay with Saint. She's going to, yes, you are, because you love it. And I agree with you. Why would you look for anything else? Okay, I'm going to put a little bit of brightener in right here. So brightening elevates and lifts, like we talked about. And we need a whole lot of lift as mature ladies because things are falling. So everything that I've done, every single thing that I've taught you to do is to avoid adding texture to your skin, drawing attention to it. And we're going to add lift and dimension. Every single thing. So just kind of think that, as you're doing your makeup and you're doing your things and all the things, you're like, what am I trying to achieve? I don't want to cover everything necessarily. I just want to add lift and dimension, and I want to look the way I want to look. Okay, so I'm going to take a little bit of brightener and I'm just going to add a little bit right here. And the reason I'm doing that is I have kind of some bags right there and I have some sinking in. It's got tear trough, I guess is the name. And I'm just going to add a little bit down into that shadow. It's not discolored. I mean, look, it went away. It's not a discoloration, it's a shadow. So by adding a little tiny bit of light in there, we can distract from the shadow that's getting created. So that's what I do. And then I touch it like this, or I flip it over and I take it in, and then I take a little bit here on the top of my cheekbone. To do what? Everyone answer me. 1, 2, 3. To create lift. Yay! And we stay out of the wrinkles. Okay? Stay out of those wrinkles and those areas underneath your eye. So we're done. Now, I really like putting on, I love perfume. If you know me, I am a person, we're going to get to lips. I love perfume. I love lipstick. I love makeup. I love all of that, and I don't save it. Okay. So if I may put on colored lipstick at home. Why? Because I like it. Okay. So I'll take one of my favorite perfumes and I wear it, even if I'm going where's the nozzle? Even if I'm going nowhere. And I suggest you do too, because you love it and you should wear it every single day. But for our lips, I want to give you my very last tip. I'm going to find my lip liner here. Okay. This isn't a very dark lip liner. This is by, let me say it before I say it wrong. This is Charlotte Tilbury, and it is a lip, what's it called? Something nude. Iconic Nude, okay? And I'm going to wipe off my stuff. Now, if you're going to line your lips, or even if you put on a darker lipstick, you need to stay out of the corners. The reason that you do is so many of us, you know, our faces are going down and our lips are going down. It just is what it is. And if you add darkness to the corners, it accents that movement. And we don't want that. So if you're going to line your lips, avoid the corners. Okay? Add a little bit more maybe to the center. I'm not able to overline my lips, meaning I can't make them bigger by going outside the line. Okay, there's that line. It makes them look a little bit bigger. The only place I can overline just a touch is on the bottom. And so I can go right here. Okay, did you see I stayed out of here? And if you get it in there, just take it out, even your lipstick. I love this color. It's just plain, really. But it goes with about anything. It's iconic nude. Okay, I like to fill it in a little bit, and then I just like to take a gloss and stick over top. I do a lip oil. I do a lot of lip tints, to be honest. Saint has some really fantastic lip tints. And then I just continue, like it tinted my lips. And then throughout the day, if I'm gone, the color will still be there, and I just put a little bit of a gloss over it. But I wanted to show you guys this. I'll show you, watch this, okay? I'm going to do in the corner. It just, and if your lips go down even more than I do, like that, it's going to accent it even more. So don't do that. We don't want that. Okay, and then I'm just, for simplicity's sake, I'm going to take one of Saint's lip oils and put it over top. It's just a pink. I don't prefer mattes on my lips because it kind of just not look very good with my mature skin. Isn't that pretty? Oh, I just love a gloss on my lips. It makes me feel complete and whole. Okay, that is it. If you guys are going to powder, I've been on here long enough. Enough tips. I'm sure you're like, oh my gosh, my brain. This live will be here. You can comment match me. If you comment match me, you're going to get all my skincare stuff, my eye concealer. You can get matched to your shade of Saint, whatever you want. There's a lot of there in there. I am not, I'll be honest with you, when it comes to lip liner, I don't use it horribly often. So I would say if I use a color, yeah, but it would have to kind of go with it. Yeah, if I was going to use, because this is a little bit purpley, so it would have to be in that family and then line it. And I would probably, what I would do is I would probably add the lip tint first, and then I would line it, and then I would have that going on, and then I feel like that would be good. So it would have to be in that family. If I was wearing like a reddy or an orangey color, I probably wouldn't use that. But yeah, I would line it even when you use color. So I just probably wouldn't use this one if it didn't match closer to it. If you guys are going to powder, we have two powders. We have a feather blotting powder, which is amazing to blur the lines. It has dimethicone in it. So if you have pores, if you're going to have your picture taken or anything like that, it's a great way to just help mute everything down. Or we have vanilla dust, and that one's more for, I feel like it soaks up the oil. It tones things down. Hey, I'm in a humid area, not liking it so much, making my face feel more heavy. Then you would use more the vanilla dust. That's just what do I even have? I don't even think I have my feather blotting in here. I'm just going to use that. But if you're going to use it, you don't need, I feel like makeup is made better than it used to be. If you're taking care of your skin like we talked about, you don't even need a primer. Your primer is your skincare. Take your primer and go throw it away. You don't need it. I get asked that all the time. At least with Saint skincare or Saint makeup, Saint, and you don't need primer. Okay? That's my opinion. People are like, what about this and what about that? No, that's good skincare. Okay. Sonia, do you ever wear just blush, eyeshadow, and mascara, no foundation? Yes, I do my makeup so many different ways. On a really light day, probably what I would do, what you're asking, I have fake eyelashes on, so I'm going to say mascara, but fake eyelashes. So you said blush, eyeshadow. Yes, I will use eyeshadow and I'll have my lashes on. I will sometimes take care a little bit of my pink, like that, just in those areas, and then put blush on and be gone. I like wearing a little bit brighter blush if I do that. And that's the thing. I'm glad you asked that question. And the reason I am is because if that's you, you can customize this to that. You can be, there's my blush. There is, what did you say? Blush. And you can have eyeshadow in here, and then your mascara, and then maybe a little bit of bronzer. And that's all you have to put. And it's customizable. So you can customize your palette the way you like it. So yes, I do. I'm going to go. If you're going to do powder, you need to do very little powder. Just add a little bit in a few areas, like on your oily areas, your T-zone, and that's it. And I'm sorry if you can't hear me. Okay. All right, guys. Again, match me if you want any information, or just DM me, comment. I'll get with you. See you guys. Thank you.